you're going to have vehicles that are really good at getting through atmosphere and coming back down through the atmosphere, being dropped off in low Earth orbit, where they could meet a vehicle like ours that could grab and then ferry you out to higher orbits, think geosynchronous, lunar orbits, whatever it is, drop it off, and then actually have enough range to come back, right? Really
Right. So they're
solving that
not
movement
disposable
problem.
satellites. You can actually bring the tool back and then refuel it. We'll get to refueling in a second.
Yes, yeah.
But just thinking about this, if it's very, very hard to get stuff out of the gravity well, and we get very good at getting things just to low Earth orbit, I presume it's actually very efficient to not have another stage on that rocket that we had to bring up from the ground, and instead to have a satellite just kind of grab onto whatever we took to low Earth orbit and then take it up further. That's probably very energy and engineering efficient.
Correct. And not disposing of, all of this is going to still take, rocket engines and aerospace grade tanks and electronics that are hardened for, these kind of space environments. The last thing you want to be doing is disposing of that each time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So not only is it a vehicle that's very efficient at transiting out in space, as you mentioned, but also just cost efficiency wise, we've seen reuse be the play that makes space more economical. Right. And so we're definitely looking to solve that.
So you guys are working on a device called the Astraeus, which you call a cryogenic orbital maneuvering vehicle. The last three words, I believe, mean things that can move around in space, but the cryogenic element seems to be quite important. You guys talk a lot about temperature. So why don't you talk to me about why that matters in this case?
Yeah. So, again, we are solving the problem of movement out in orbit. And a big part of that is how efficient your propellants are, right? Just think miles per gallon in like a standard car, right? Like you would much rather have a car that is 50 miles per gallon than 10 miles per gallon, right? And military applications, logistics, it matters just as much. And so, my background, my co-founder's background, most of the team's background come from launch vehicles, and they are trying to be hyper efficient with high thrust. They all use cryogenic propellants, just really cold liquids, right? Like very cold liquids. Most of them are either using liquid oxygen and liquid methane, or liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, which is the more efficient of the two. You even see some rockets that use methane for the first stage because it's a little cheaper, and then liquid hydrogen on top because it's more efficient. Now, traditionally, if you took those really, really cold liquids and you threw it out into orbit and it was getting hit with sunlight and radiation, they're actually so cold that just that bit of sunlight starts to make them boil. And in order to not have your tank just pop, you have to start venting your tank. So traditionally, they are known as not being storable, right? That's kind of the key word there.
So
for
great
rockets,
for propulsion, great for going up, but not something you want to have sitting in orbit around waiting for a job like your satellites will eventually be.
Squarespace has been a friend and partner of This Week in Startups for over a decade, and it's because they are one of my favorite startups of all time. Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that's going to help you make a beautiful website to help establish your brand online and scale your business with you as you grow. Doesn't matter if you're selling content or a course, but what if you want something super customized? Well, you can use their AI-powered blueprint feature. That works right alongside you as a creative partner. You tell it what vibes you're going for, what the aesthetic is, and it makes something totally beautiful and personalized to you and your business. And new features keep coming from our friends at Squarespace. You remember they did SEO, they've been doing that for a decade. Now they're doing it for AI. Yes, AI search. People are starting with AI, and then you see all those citations. They lead to Squarespace websites because they do AI search optimization. Go to squarespace.com/twist to get 10% off your first website or domain purchase.